Hi you all, it's Illuminated Mind. How are you? So today I'm going to go over this Sav live where she had reached out to a camper who was camping with her boyfriend at Brewster August 5th. And although Sav said she is credible and she reached out to her and not the other way around, and she really believes this girl, unfortunately I don't know if I fully trust Sav. Not like she would lie or anything about that, but when you can't see that information yourself, you just have to take Sav's word, just because words can be so easily misconstrued. This isn't the same camper who were posting on Instagram about FBI being at the campground and interviewing them, because this camper says FBI or law enforcement never interviewed them. So it's kind of like, what's up with that? They interviewed someone, not all. Weird. I have to say, I have gotten so much information from Sav's lives and videos, and so I'm thankful for that because she has really good receipts there. I like better when receipts has name or something like that, so you can do your own research, because sometimes, for example, a Facebook account name can reveal if the account is a real person or anonymous account just recently made, just to bullshit people. It's not like you wanna dox people or you wanna people to contact them or any harm them. It's just for transparency. This case has been so crazy that this is just how I operate. I just want to make as transparent as possible, so people can make their own research and kind of like see that I'm not bullshitting. Because unfortunately there is some screenshots have been going around since from the beginning where the name is blocked, and I understand why people do that, but then you can do your own research, and unfortunately I don't trust people, because everybody can make mistakes. Just look how from the beginning Sav girl thought it was Evan Fiddiman. Someone was feeding her information that Evan Fiddiman is involved, he is rich and they are a very powerful family, and I don't believe they are involved. It wasn't Evan Fiddiman, it was Evan Foyt who she was talking about. So just because people can make honest mistakes, because sometimes social media isn't that easy to interpret. Just because sometimes people have strange social media account handles, it's not that easy to interpret who it belongs to. And there are more people than just Sammy, Nate, Evan, Jagger, Kate. There are a lot more teens. I feel like the problem from the beginning in this case is people have been focusing so much on Sammy, Kate, Mags, Evan, Jagger, that they haven't really done their research. Like, there could be other teens who are involved, or what are the dynamics, because Truckee Tahoe is small but it isn't that small. I mean, they have 3 high schools and even probably 2-3 private schools, or private public schools, like a charter school what Kiely went to. So it isn't that small, the area. And there is Truckee, which is more on the mountain side, and then there is North Lake Tahoe, and then there is Ingline, and all these kids, they mingle together. Well, except Kiely, because she wasn't friends with these people. She was at charter school, and she was living at a remote lodge. And he was friends with Kate and Max. That's about it. She wasn't friends with these teens who party. Not with Sammy. How Kiely ended up at the party. Because she wasn't supposed to go to that party. So why would she go there when she doesn't know anybody? And she was going with Max, and then Max just left her there after 10 minutes. Doesn't make any sense. But I do think Sammy is pretty guilty of something. She has to know more about what happened to Kiely. The whole Sammy crew who were at the presser, Evan, Nate, Max boyfriend, Ross, Philip, Jagger, all those are looking pretty shady to me. And maybe not everyone is involved, but I also think they are maybe not telling the whole truth either, you know. And then there is this whole issue with teens who claim they were at the party. One even said they saw Kiely there. A couple of them have said they saw Kiely. So again, it seems like there was some type of gathering or party, or there were multiple parties. And maybe some people really saw Kiely at the party. But then maybe Sammy and whoever might have gone to another party. Maybe at the campground, at Purser, Avoca, or might have gone by the water. Because someone has to lie. Not all these accounts can be true at the same time. All these who have said they were camping, who were at the party, then the friend stories, and then the law enforcement stories. You know? Staff Girl has amazing Photoshop skills and mapping skills. She can sit for hours just like looking for the right place and matching. And I think that's great. But sometimes she lacks common sense. Like she was reading an article from an AI generated website, and she didn't get that until someone pointed out, and then she was like, "You think?" And I was like, "Girl." And sometimes she's just not that great when it comes to social media, like what people's names are, because I think she said she is not on. I think Staff Girl said she is not on Instagram, and I think it shows because she doesn't really get how the handles work. And it's not a diss, it's just like when I'm going through Staff Girl's information, you have to do your own research. You can't just like take it for face value. Oh, Staff Girl said this, so it must be true. Orion Upshur says, Kiely Rose is Kiely. You can't just take people's word. You have to do your own research. And that's why I kind of, the way I do things, I just show the receipts so people know this is it. And they can do their own research or stuff like that. Because I can make mistakes too, hey? But I have gotten so much information and receipts from Staff Girl, so I'm really thankful she hasn't removed her videos. Thank you. Except some videos she has removed. At least the SF Investigates one. And I'm like, why did you remove that? Did the Investigates told you to remove it? Why? Is it because Ryan Upchurch and Staff Girl on the panel make a complete fool out of SF Investigates. I mean, I don't get why Safgal removed that, because I think it needs to be out there, because it shows how full of crap SF Investigates is. He told, when somebody bumps you into the water, it's an accident. Oh no. No, it's not. And there's no foul play. I mean, it can be accidental, but there's still foul play, and it could be manslaughter, especially if you don't call 911 and don't tell anyone for 2 weeks. Yeah, it's foul play at that point, SF Investigates. So let's go through this information what Safgirl has about this. You kind of have to now trust what Safgirl is telling, but she has been messaging with the girl. And by the way, the camper thinks it's foul play, so that gives a little bit more credit for that person. But I still don't know what do I feel about this camper story, because there is just some things that I feel like quite doesn't add up. By the way, I have already edited this Saf Girl's video, so I have cut out some of her ramblings about other stuff, so we can just focus on the camper story. Saf Girl still has this live on her channel, so if you want to watch the whole, you can go to her channel to watch it.
So she was at Prosser on August 5th. She was camping that night. So somebody had emailed me, and it's legit. I reached out to her. Dude, I talked to a girl. I asked her to come on. I'm not sure if she's going to come on. It's freaking so awesome. So she was at Prosser on August 5th. She was camping that night. So somebody had emailed me, and it's legit. I reached out to her. It's not like it's like somebody reaching out, oh, they're fakes. They're just trying to inject themselves. No, I reached out to her. So somebody emailed me. They're like, hey, look, somebody was camping this day. And it was the day. I mean, you see pictures, it's August 5th. And it wasn't even like I'm making a big deal that, oh, this is the day that, about Kiely. It was just showing she was at Prosser, And so I contacted her. I'm like, hey, would you be willing to talk to me and answer some questions? And she's like, yeah, sure. So we've been kind of like going back and forth all day, and I just been asking her things. And I asked her a few times if she wanted to come on. I'm not sure if she's completely understanding what I mean, or maybe she just doesn't want to, which is fine. Like, if you guys trust me, then trust me, this girl was there. But maybe she'll come on. I just sent her the link, but I don't blame her. If she doesn't want to, I don't blame her. Either way, because this case is kind of crazy. But so this is what she's had to say so far. You guys want to hear? It's kind of crazy because the timeline is all different then. Kind of. Okay. So hold on. I said, I'm not going to give her name. She didn't even say she didn't say I had, like, I couldn't say her name or anything, but I just said until I guess like maybe if she comes up, she can. But her and her boyfriend were camping there Friday night. So I asked her, I said, well, let me slow down, chat. I said, what was the first thing I asked her? Hold on. I forget I did a lot of voice. We were talking back and forth on voice, but I asked her, hold on. So I asked her, like, how late were the kids partying? Did you hear him? Did you see him? I mean, what's going on? What did you hear? What did you see? Obviously what we all want to know. And so she said the music stopped about 1 a.m. is when the music stopped. So she did hear him. She's like, oh yeah, we heard the music. It was loud, but it stopped at 1. So that kind of goes along with what they said, 12:30, there was a line of cars. Oh, that's what I want to ask her about, the line of cars. She said all night there was people coming in trying to look for the party. It was packed. She said they go there every year, but this year was the most packed because of that party. She said people trying to find it, going in and out. Okay. So, hold on, I'm just going to go in order from the notes that I took. So she said that she saw Kylie's car multiple times going down to the boat ramp, back and forth down to the boat ramp. So I said, wait, you mean the boat ramp? Because you remember the boat ramp is here. Let me show you. Let me bring up a map. because the boat ramp is on the opposite side of where she's found. So not the side where she drove her car in, but the boat ramp, which I'll bring up a map in a minute, but let me just finish my thought here. So and I said, okay, well, what time? I said, because was she really there? Because the story is she didn't get there till 10 with Mags, and then Mags stayed up until 10 to 15, 10, she basically 10 to half an hour. They say 10 to 30 minutes, 10 minutes to 30 minutes that Mags stayed and left. So I said, what time did you see her? Because I'm thinking like, okay, you keep seeing her going back and forth to the boat ramp. That sounds like maybe that was earlier. I didn't even ask. All I said is, what time did you see her? And she said it was earlier in the day that she seen Kiely's car going back and forth to the boat ramp. I said, was she by herself? Did you see anybody in it? I said, I know at the time you're not thinking to, look at these details because you don't know what's going to happen. She said, honestly, I think she's by herself, but I can't. She's like you said, I don't know. I wasn't looking for people. I just saw the car back and forth. Oh, thanks, Wanda Life. You know what? Oh, I have this. Zeke cut his hair.
So how does the camper know it was Kiely's car? And how does she know it was Kiely? A lot of people in Tahoe have a Honda CRV or SUV or cars that look like that. So how can she be so sure? And what does Kiely and what Kiely was doing driving to the boat ramp multiple times? And what time was it? Because the gas station footage is from 6:08 p.m. And Sammy said Kiely arrived at the party 10 p.m. around that time. It kinda doesn't match up with Max and Sammy's story. But then Ronnie Jones said his cousin saw her, I believe it was 8 or 9 p.m. So again, nobody's stories match up. How did no other camper then saw her there? Or the party? The campground couple who said FBI was there, they said the party was at there by the shoreline, I think. More to the place where she was found. Why nobody called 911? I mean, if there were people partying and looking for the party, camp hosts usually are quite good keeping ordinance, but there have been some issues with those camp hosts at Prosser Family Campground or the other campgrounds, Lakeview. Maybe they don't just care. And the campground host said like there wasn't a party, very angrily, when somebody went searching there. And why nobody called 911 if there were music? You would think there would be more accounts then. People who lived there would have heard the music. And where was the Spanish party? Like it wasn't a party, but more like a family get together and some cooking. So what did they see or hear? Did the law enforcement went to interview them? It's just so weird that law enforcement were only pleading teens to come forward. No one else. Not the creepy old men or college boys or anything like that. Only the teens at the party. Not outsiders who might have seen or who might have been recreating by the presser. It's kind of weird. And quite many girls look like Kiely. I mean, we know how Kiely looks. How come the camper be so sure it was Kiely and not some other blonde girl? Tahoe is filled with thin blonde girls with long hair. And lots of people have a silver SUV or CRV.
Haircut. I have the card from. And I was like, so it was early in the day? She said, yeah, it was early in the day. She'll ask her boyfriend to get like a specific time, but it was definitely like earlier. So it was before 10 o'clock, And I said, and she said, and then she said the weirdest thing happened. She said like real late at night. She said it was like, early in the morning. A car. She said it was 4 doors. She couldn't tell what kind because it was dark. But she said after that's just when they went inside because it was like weird. So a car full of 4 guys. They come into the campground. They have their shirts off. They get out of the car. They get something out of the car, which she said her boyfriend thinks it was a bat. And then they start running around the campground like with their shirts off with a bat or something, whatever they got out of the car, and just like screaming and running around like 4 guys. She said it was so weird. We just like went in after that. We were done, it was just really weird. So it's like, what the heck? So
And no one called 911? Really? There were teens partying, there were families camping. Weird guys coming out of the car with baseball bats. And no one is calling 911? Are these the creepy old men? Or what is going on? And where was the party then? Because it doesn't sound like the party was at the sanctuary. Because she is talking about campground. And the guys came to the campground. And they went inside. And no one called 911. And where were the party goers then? Like, were the party at the campground and like, I don't know, it just sounds so weird that she's not talking about like what was going on. She's just talking about Kiely was driving around there at the boat ramp and then weird guys came with bats. So where were the other teens? What they were doing? And were there multiple parties? Like one party at sanctuary, one party by the reservoir, one party at the campground? Were the after party at the campground? Did they leave the boat car after that? So many questions.
and she said nobody asked them, nobody interviewed them. Because I said, what do you think happened? She's like, first of all, nobody, like law enforcement, nobody interviewed them, which is bullcrap because they were there that night. They should have interviewed everybody there. You know what I'm saying? They should have got a roster of who camped there that night. I mean, this is especially when it was a missing person. Like, this is a missing person. Nobody knows where she's at. They think somebody took her. Wouldn't you want to go get the roster from the campground? You could get a warrant from it, of who all camped. Go interview those people, see what they saw. Like, she said they didn't interview them, which is messed up. What else? And she thinks foul play. She thinks the same thing. She's like, I think, she said the weird thing is she's like, she just sent me her last message and said she doesn't think that the car was in there that when the cop searched, like when they searched the dive teams, like we all are thinking, like we think maybe that it was put there after, because how did they miss it? So she's thinking foul play too, and a car might have been put there after, and she heard, like we all heard, about how the adults told the kids not to say anything. Let me see if the pictures that from her camping. Let me see if there's any like names on it where I could show you, like her, because she has pictures from when she camped. But like, I don't want to give out her name if until I get her permission to do that. I just told her I'll keep it confidential. I'm like, if you want to come on and talk, you don't have to say your name. But maybe she, some people don't care. Some people do it. Like, it just depends, but I don't want to be the one to do it. So let me look at those pictures and see, because you could see him camping. And there's pictures and stuff. Let me see what I have here. Hold on. Let me take a sip of my coffee. Okay. So what do you guys think of that though so far? Like, okay, Kiely may have been there earlier. If, her records, she saw the car back and forth to the boat ramp. So, they must have been going down to the water. If let's say they were there all day hanging out, going down to the water. I don't know why, and then, I don't know what they were doing down by the water, but, yeah, she said 1:00 is when the music stopped. And she also said when they parked. So this makes me wonder if this is what those people were talking about when the big fight, because she said, hold on a second. Thank you, D. Kessler. She said that when those guys came and parked and ran around, she said they were parked right in the middle of the road. So everybody would have had to go around them. They were blocking the road. So it makes me wonder about that story about how that they blocked the road, like almost like people are thinking they purposely blocked the road and made a bunch of noise so that it could distract from a fight that was going on. It makes me wonder if that was what she witnessed. She said it was really late. She it was like early in the morning, really late. She never gave me an exact time on that, but that's when she went in after that. But she said they freaking blocked the road, got out, 4 guys, no shirts, got something out of their car, ran around the campgrounds like yelling. And could that have been the instance that everybody's talking about where they blocked the road and stuff? If that's the case, I guess it could actually, because think about it. Let me get my map up. That very well could be, because I was thinking, wait, if she was at Prosser Campground, that would have been, I was like not finishing my sentence. See, I'm guilty of that too. I even admitted it on my video. I do the same thing. So all that could be innocent. Of Megan, when I was like, stop it. But there's still other weird things about that interview, which we could talk about. It may be the same instance. And that's crazy because she's not like telling the story like, yeah, I was there in that instance that person said. She was just telling her story of these guys getting out of the car. So it's like everything's matching up. Oh, thanks, Dee. Like I said, you got to remember, I asked her. She's not like, because I know there's going to be doubters like, oh, the people like interjecting themselves. They're lying. No, this is just somebody that I have proof. There's pictures, and I came to her, and she said, sure, I'll answer questions. So it's not like she tried to like interject herself. No, she didn't at all. I haven't seen her interject herself at all. But she's been following it. She's like, I've been following it because it's so close to home because we were there that night. I'm like, wow, that's so crazy. Okay, but I don't know if she's been on YouTube. I don't know if she might just be like on articles. I don't know how different people follow cases. I don't know. She never said. She said she's been following it. I don't even know if she knows who I am or anything. Because I contact her with my personal Facebook, so it doesn't have my channel name, so I'm not sure if she realizes it doesn't matter. Okay, I just told her I was covering the case and I had some questions. Anyway, hold on. Let me bring up the map so I could show you what I'm talking about. It is so hot. Here.
So yeah, I totally get why Sav doesn't want to give her name, because maybe the girl doesn't want to be public about this, and otherwise she would have probably already talked about it. She only talked about when somebody reached out to her. But it's interesting that the camper thing is foul play and the car wasn't there. We'd be curious to know why. Yeah, I think a lot of people think that the car wasn't there when law enforcement searched, because then either law enforcement did know about the car but they didn't want it to be found and it's a cover-up, or the car wasn't there when they were searching. Something like that. But it's interesting that she said that the guys blocked the road. And how could she see that? Isn't this a campground kind of placed so there are woods around? I don't know why, but somehow it sounds like this girl was part of the party. Like, I don't know why, but like she knows so much. And she saw that the road was blocked, and maybe there was a fight. They were covering up for that. How would she know that? And why no one called 911?
All right, hold on. Let me get this map up and I'll show you where I think. And then I could have her, because I just started talking to her today, so I'll ask her. And like I said, I haven't gotten this far to ask her exactly where these boys parked. But we know, as far as what that one video, it sounds like they were right here, right? That's what it sounds like, that he blocked off this area. So, they were camping down here, or the party was down here, and supposedly they blocked off this intersection, is what they said. So I'm thinking it's right here, right? So because they were parked right here, or they were camping at Prosser Family Campground. So I'm trying to think, where would the camps? I mean, I guess they could be camping. I'll have to ask them exactly where. Her and her boyfriend were camping somewhere around here. So I guess it could be right here where they park, and then they start running around to cause a distraction, because maybe they were trying to distract from that fight or whatever was going on that they were trying to distract from, right? I could see that. And then, so here's the boat ramp. So so she said she saw, wow, that means they would have had to drive. I'm trying to think of the way to get to the boat ramp for Kiely. Oh, I guess she could that's the paved road where you go like this. So she said she saw her, and look, it goes right through the campsite. So that's why she would definitely get a good look of anybody going to the boat ramp. And she said she saw her go there multiple times through the day, because she was there earlier in the daytime. I don't know how early, but it was light out. It was before 10, it was earlier than what they said. At least, that's what she said. She saw her driving there multiple times. And then, and early in the morning, she saw, the guys, like I said, I'm just guessing, but maybe there was more than one, instance. Maybe there's a couple cars that did that, but 4 guys took off their shirts, or had their shirts off, got something out of the car. The boyfriend thinks it was a bat, started running around the campground yelling. And she said it was a 4-door car. Because I asked, well, what kind of car? She said, all I know is that it was dark. I couldn't see, but she does know, like when the guys did that, she does know it was 4 doors. There was 4 doors. So, and like I said, she said the cops did not interview them, which is weird, because they had 2 weeks when she's missing. Why? Like I said, they should have freaking searched everybody. I mean, they should have talked to everybody that was camping that day. I don't understand that. And the music ended at 1. I know I'm repeating it, but there's some people that are coming in new. So, and she said the music ended at 1. So this is just some campers that were at Prosser Family Campground camping. They do it every year, and it happened to land on this day of the party. She said it was packed that day. It was way more packed than it normally is every year because of the party. She said all night, all day, people coming in looking for the party, turned around, like, just searching, asking where the party is, looking for the party. So she said music ended at 1. Kiely's car seen multiple times in the daytime, going to the boat ramp. And then early in the morning, 4 guys got out of the car with shirts off, grabbed something from the car. Her boyfriend thought it was a baseball bat, ran around campground. Okay, so that's basically all I know so far, which is probably all she really knows, I'm guessing, But I'm hoping I do get to, I know I'll be able to talk to her a little bit more, maybe about some specifics about, like, where were they camping, where on the map did the guy park, and stuff like that. So we could probably get those details if she comes on, or if not, I could get them for you guys for next live. I'm sure she'll be able to let us know that. Yeah, didn't people say some people park down by boat ramp? Maybe she was picking up people and bringing them to the camp. Yeah, maybe. I never even thought of that. It's very possible. Hey, Jessica. Yeah, you're right. They need to look into that. Like, who was blocking the road and why? She said very matter of factly. I mean, like, it was like a fact. Kiely had a sunroof. Okay, so that's why it's important. We just want to see if it's true, because a lot, it doesn't look like she does.
Kylie's silver car didn't have sunroof, and I think Grandpa and family would have said if the car had sunroof. But the car that Jagger bought from Kylie's mom, that's white, and that one has a sunroof. But it's bigger model also, it's a SUV. So this witness account would suggest that there were a party, some sort. Or maybe there were multiple parties. But it's just strange there were people coming and asking for a party. Locals would know what a party is. But why no one else said that? The other camper, they didn't mention that. But music stopped at 1 o'clock. And the other camper said 12:30 there were mass exodus or something like that. The multiple cars were exiting. So what happened? What happened that made everybody leave? There were 100 to 400 people. Teens, young adults, local teens, and some outsiders out of town. So there were coke, mushrooms, alcohol, weed, yet everybody just left 12:30, 1 a.m. Why? What happened? It's not just possible that everybody leaves at that time, especially when everybody says that usually people camp there after they had been drinking or they pass out there. So why everybody left? I would be curious to know what time the blocking the road was, because it's early in the morning, so what time was it after the music had stopped? Would be just interesting to know more. And why law enforcement didn't interview these, but FBI went to the. But then the other camper said they were FBI and they were interviewing. So again, very mixed witness statement accounts. Again, how would he know it was Kylie's car and it was Kiely? You don't usually see inside the car that well. Many have silver cars there. And why no one called 911? The cops. And why no one called the campground host or law enforcement? Usually when you have that amount of shit go around, usually people at campground are pretty quick to call law enforcement if something strange is happening, because you never know. If these men with bats were going to hurt someone. And with whom Kiely was. Max or Sammy, no one has said they were at the campground or at the boat ramp, driving around. It was specifically said that the party was at the sanctuary and Kiely parked her car there. So whether some creepy old man camping at the campground and take him to the party to say, hey, stop the party, or whether some campers who wanted to party with teens and they were the creepy old man. Just questions. And why Kiely would have been driving to the boat ramp? Were there some kind of pre-gaming or at a party? And why Sammy and Max would lie about it? So what do you think? So if we all believe this camper and this had to do something with the Kiely case, it was Kiely, well, someone who looked like Kiely. It seems like they were a party. But then it seems there were multiple parties, actually. And then there was something going on at Voga. And why law enforcement isn't talking. They never said, hey campers, please could you come forward? What have you seen? They never said, hey, if you were visiting campground or were adult at the party, please come forward. It was all about the teens. The teens need to come forward. It is so strange. All these different statements, they don't just add up. Witness statements are usually quite unreliable. Like, there are some truth to it, but you never know, like, when somebody says there were a mass exodus of cars, well, how many are they? 3, 10, hundreds? And when somebody says, yeah, it was Kiely, well, how can you be so sure about it if you just saw a car? You could see so well that it was actually Kiely in the car. With all the blonde girls in Tahoe area. And you can say for sure it was Kiely. And it was Kylie's car. I don't know why it sounds like they were part of the party, but the way, at least the way South Girl is telling this story, it kind of sounds like they were witnessing the party, like they were part of the party group. I don't know. But yeah, tell me what your thoughts are on. See you in my next video. Thank you for watching and bye.